Thank you. Our first question will start with Kelly Wakashi. Let's start with the big budget problem for next school year. The topic of a major school board meeting here last night. District officials cite factors such as COVID relief funding being gone, declining enrollment, costs of attracting and retaining the best staff, low cost of living increase from the state while facing high inflation, and the fact that PUSD is a low funded district under the state formula anyway. What did you think of last night's budget workshop? And what specific actions will you advocate for as a board member to balance the budget within those categories, as district staff put it, of realignment, right sizing, and or revenue generation?
Okay, yes, I have a lot to reflect on last night's meeting. Ultimately, what came out of that meeting is something that I initiated in the core conversation about doing a program evaluation, taking a look at every single program in the district and taking a look at, first off, how does it line to our students? What is the cost generation of that particular program? And how many students does it impact? And also, how does that incorporate with the staffing of our teachers? Where are the redundancies? That is essential for alignment and the right sizing of our classrooms. One of the other things that echoed from last night's discussions is how one-time funding has gone away. However, the district needs to shift and actually take a look at which positions are still being covered through the general fund right now and why. We need to do an entire evaluation. There are 3 categories that the district needs to take a look at: staffing, personnel, number 1. Number 2, services and operations, and books and supplies. We need to look holistically at every single area where to cut. We can look at parcel taxes, but we have to engage the community with that, a community-based parcel to help support a solution, because without the buy-in from our community, it's not going to happen. More importantly, we need to look and strategically at where are we going to make those cuts furthest from the classroom, and also keeping in mind at the end of the day, it's the students that will be impacted. This is the long overhaul, big strategy. We need to make changes now, and I will support doing that to help our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Jane Flynn, Area 4.
This is a great question, one that I've been working on for a couple months now here at the district. And so supporting the district on the Budget Advisory Committee and intensely looking at different strategies to either make cuts or increase our revenues. So I'm proud to say that we have worked very hard and we have come up with some great strategies that were given last night at that meeting. I was not at that meeting, I was at a meet and greet campaigning, so that I was not available for that. But doing the hard work is very important. And so as a parent, I'd like to keep the cuts as far away from our students and teachers as possible. Ways that we can do that is increase our TK enrollment. Once we increase our TK enrollment, we need to increase our Kids Club. Our Kids Club program brings in 1.3 approximately into our general fund every year. Every school has a wait list for children that are waiting to get on that into Kids Club. And so I would like to see our open classrooms in the schools used to increase that, our Kids Club program that will then create more revenues for our general fund. That also will help our parents as well, because we have children that get on a bus and go to a different Kids Club program after school. So it's money that is just leaving our driveway every day after school. So I'd love to see that. So we need to investigate unnecessary spending, evaluate our resources, make sure we're not duplicating things in the classroom, make sure from school site to school site, we're using the same resources. Thank you.
Thank you. Charlie Jones, Area 4.
So, I mean, you're gonna hear from all of us tonight that we want cuts to be the farthest away from a classroom. We're parents, we're teachers, this is what we always desire. The reality though is that our budget is a pie with very limited slices. What you take from one spot is being added to another. And so we actually do need to be serious about the fact that somebody is going to get hurt. We are going to have to most likely reduce some of the jobs that we have, not just redundancies. But we also need to look at the fact that there is a positive. The California School Board Association received a report that our revenue since April is up billions. 40% of our budget comes from Prop 98 funding, and we're projecting better shape for next year. We have to always use the year prior. So what this means for us is that we're in a better position most likely for next year, which means some of these cuts could very well be temporary and not permanent, which is a nice thing for us to see. At the end of the day though, we need to be better about our ADA funding that comes from students. After COVID, our census numbers don't match the number of students that we should have. There's about 3,000 more students that we should have in this district. That is money that we are leaving on the table that we should be bringing back in. We should be asking, where are those students right now? How can we get them back? That is a way that we can help reduce and push back on these cuts and these issues that we are running into. There are a lot of things we do have to fund. Special ed, foster service, homeless youth, that is a guaranteed funding. But one way we could have saved money was by not wasting it going out and searching for an interim superintendent when we have people here we could have hired right now with the experience internally. That would have saved us a lot of money. So there are things that we can do. I believe in us as a district. I've worked on budgets like this in the past. We do want it far away from the classes, but at the same time, we need to be honest with the public. What are we planning to do? And that is going to probably be, to some extent, personnel and redundancies and restructuring of who we are hiring.
Thank you. And Donald Harris, Area 3.
Cleanup is always my favorite shift. Okay, well, fortunately, everybody here is right. This is a very big problem, and it's a complex one. It isn't one that you can just solve in 2 minutes. But the other issue that I would like to build upon is that, just like Mr. Jones said, it is a very small pie, but we do need to continue working to get California to increase the size of the pie that they send us every year. The CSBA has been a big proponent of full and fair funding for a long time, and I really have been excited about organizing parents at a grassroots level to increase the pressure on the state to increase the amount of funding that we get. The other issue that this brings to light is that there are a lot of programs with redundancies, and we could do a much better job throughout the year ensuring that we have metrics to continuously gauge how effective those are, whether or not they're worth funding, where we can increase or cut back on those, and really do the best job that we can with our funds.
Thank you.